Hello and welcome back to Bamboo Batu. Today we're looking at a presentation I made for a bamboo convention in Nigeria. And so we're talking about bamboo in Nigeria. It's an interesting place for bamboo. There's actually lots of bamboo growing in Nigeria. Not the first country you think of when you think about bamboo, but there is a lot of bamboo there. And if you're thinking about bamboo, don't forget to check out my website, bamboobatu.com. Tons of free content, lots of articles about bamboo. You can also subscribe to my channel right here on YouTube. Would love it if you did that. Tell your friends, make bamboo batu your new favorite. Anyway, one of the most common species of bamboo in Nigeria is Bambusa vulgaris, which we see here. Bambusa vulgaris comes in many varieties, actually. There's different subspecies. There's yellow vulgaris, green vulgaris. You see striped varieties sometimes, and you get both the green and yellow varieties growing in Nigeria. The pictures here are of the green, some dark green Bambusa vulgaris. It's a Chinese species that I think the Spanish conquistadors, when they were sailing around the globe back in the day, they they found some and they transported it around. And now there is Bambusa vulgaris. Whoops a daisy. Bambusa vulgaris growing all over the world, all over the tropics. That is, all over Central America, South America, all parts of Africa, and throughout Asia and Pacific Islands. It really spreads pretty quickly. It's not the most useful species of bamboo, but there are definitely applications for it. And in Nigeria, it is far underutilized. They could be making much better use of this biomass, even if they just burned it for fuel or made it into charcoal instead of cutting down trees. That would be a big win. They could be burning the biomass to generate electricity, to generate power. It is super renewable. It grows so fast. It's such a valuable resource that's far underutilized in Nigeria. There's also in the northern part of the country, there's a lot of this Oxytannanthera abyssinica. It is more commonly known as African lowland bamboo. It's a native species that grows throughout Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, and does really well in the drier parts of the world, drier parts of Africa. So you see it growing in the Sahel region, just south of the Sahara, in the savannas, the dry grasslands, and it's a great species for climate change mitigation. It's great for protecting that sensitive habitat on the edge of the Sahel, where the Sahara Desert is expanding, and it's something that should be protected and also cultivated further to help protect that area. Because as the bamboo grows there, it helps to keep the soil intact. The roots help to retain moisture in the topsoil and to prevent the expansion of the desert, which are some really important things for that part of the world. Um, so yeah, the benefits of cultivating bamboo right there are pretty clear. Here's my friend John, Professor John. He's a forestry professor in Nigeria. His one of his classes he's taken out to study the forests and the bamboo. He's a big proponent of bamboo in Nigeria. One of many whom I've met um, who are working to promote bamboo cultivation and utilization in Nigeria. There's a lot going on down there. So Africa actually has about 6 million hectares of bamboo, and that's almost entirely just native wild bamboo. So that's about 1/6 of the global supply of bamboo, which is a bit surprising. We just think of bamboo usually as something that's growing all over China and Indonesia and Asia primarily, but there's actually a lot of bamboo in Africa. It's got enormous potential, but it's been very underutilized. So some of the uses of bamboo, land restoration for starters. Even if you don't have any factories or any processing to make um, commercial use of the bamboo, making products out of it, it is great just to plant it in the soil. like I was talking about with the lowland bamboo as a buffer against the expansion of the desert. Bamboo has minimal needs as far as soil quality. It establishes itself relatively quickly. The roots are just really great at digging into the soil, breaking up hard soil, but also holding the soil together when the soil is loose, which can be very helpful to prevent landslides and erosion. There are a lot of extreme climate events happening these days, and with floods, it's great to have something like bamboo holding the soil together so it doesn't get washed away. As the leaves fall from the bamboo, they add to the biomass in the soil. They break down and bolster the topsoil, adding the humus and other attracting other micro, like breaking down into micro nutrients for the soil. And also the roots, those roots of bamboo are thirsty and they will actually draw the water table up closer to the soil, which will be beneficial to other plants in the area and help to green the landscape, which is a great thing. Phytoremediation is a big word. Basically, it means that bamboo is really good at leaching toxins out of the soil, heavy metals or pollutants. In Nigeria, there's a lot of pollution related to the petroleum industry, and planting bamboo on that degraded soil can actually help to clean out the soil and bring it back to life. So bamboo is a great pioneer crop in those situations. And then you can also intermix bamboo with other crops, especially in the first years. If you're planting bamboo, in those first years, the bamboo is pretty small, so you can have rows of trees or some small like annual cash crop, food crops in between the bamboo. And then as the bamboo gets bigger, if you're growing annual crops, you would stop growing those after maybe the fourth year or so, as the bamboo fills in and casts a lot of shade in between. Or you could leave the rows wide enough so that you could keep trees there. Coffee actually grows really well under the bamboo in the shade. Um, and there's other shady crops that you could grow in there, ginger or turmeric, something like that. The possibilities for intercropping with bamboo are actually pretty enormous, and at this point, still not fully understood by any means. There's so much learning and experimenting to do in that area. It's one of the more exciting areas of bamboo cultivation and exploration, in my opinion. So lots of bamboo cultivation happening, and interest in that actually in Nigeria. This is a headline that I came across. This is actually my friend, Professor John, and another friend of mine, Diane, who are planning to plant, as it says here, 100,000 hectares of bamboo in Benue State. It's in eastern part of Nigeria. Huge project for generating carbon credits. Carbon credits are driving huge interest in bamboo cultivation because bamboo is such a powerful tool for extracting CO2 from the air and creating carbon sinks underground in the soil and in the biomass of the plants. So definitely some big um, projects around bamboo getting underway in Nigeria. The uses of bamboo, with all that bamboo, it's time we talked about how to utilize it. I mentioned a few minutes ago bamboo charcoal. Um, Charcoal is used very widely in Nigeria and throughout Africa for heating and cooking. And instead of cutting down trees that take 20 or 30 or 50 years to grow, bamboo, which renews itself every year, once it's been well established, you can harvest about 25% of the poles from your bamboo forest or plantation each year, and the bamboo just replenishes itself. And so it's a very renewable source of fuel for making charcoal, and a relatively simple product to make. um, Super renewable, like I said, and it makes use of the lower quality bamboo as well. If you're making some high end, high value added bamboo products, there will be a lot of leftover bits and pieces and offcuts and waste from the bamboo plantation, and that waste material is perfect for making into charcoal. Biochar, very similar to charcoal, but biochar, it's prepared at a higher temperature and it's used as a soil amendment. It can dramatically improve and increase the fertility of the soil for larger yields, higher outputs on the farm, and reducing the need for synthetic chemical fertilizers. So that is a great use of bamboo biomass. The biochar also is good for soil remediation, again, drawing toxins out of the soil, which in polluted land around petroleum related activities or mining activities, the soil can be really messed up, and biochar can work wonders to improve that soil. Biochar also captures and stores CO2 in the form of solid carbon. And so when you bury that in the ground, you are creating a carbon sink. The carbon will stay there for hundreds of years. And you can actually earn carbon credits, carbon removal credits based on that carbon that you've sequestered and buried in the ground. So again, it's a great use of those lower quality bamboo offcuts, like the top half of the bamboo where the poles get skinny and flimsy, and not so well suited for construction material or building material. All those parts of the bamboo are great to use for charcoal or biochar. Some other products to be made from bamboo include pulp and paper. This is the Good Roll Toilet Roll Factory. It's in that's in Nigeria, actually. And next to it is we have a picture of some of that toilet paper. And as it says there, made proudly in Ghana. They have a couple factories, I believe, in Nigeria, and they're also producing toilet paper in Ghana. From what I understand from talking to my sources, the bamboo toilet paper factories in Nigeria are not actually active and operating. So all that toilet paper from that company is coming out of Ghana. So it would be great to get those factories up and running again. Again, the opportunities for bamboo industrialization and commercialization in Nigeria are tremendous, and this is a great example of the underutilization. There's factories there that can and should be restored and put to use, and to be making some products with all that bamboo. Also in Nigeria, here's a bamboo toothpick factory. I'm not sure if this one is operating or not. I suspect it's the same thing as those toilet paper factories. Somebody built a factory and then not sure what happened, but it never really took off as a business. So you need to get the right people, get their heads together, and get these factories up and running, and putting this national resource to good use. So much bamboo, and it's just growing in the field, not being used. It's quite a waste. So toothpicks, a great product, simple product that could be made from bamboo. Some more interesting products: furniture and construction. Bamboo is extremely strong, extremely fast growing. Makes some really cool furniture. Here's some very rustic style bamboo furniture. You can also make some very modern style furniture. You can laminate the bamboo into some high end construction material. There's really no limit to what can be done with bamboo if we put our heads together and organize some production, get the factories going. The potential is tremendous, and it's just a bit tragic how underutilized it is. And so, what are the obstacles to developing bamboo in Nigeria? It has a reputation as being the poor man's timber. It's so cheap and abundant that people overlook it as not being valuable, when actually it has tremendous value. There's also pretty limited understanding of bamboo cultivation in many parts of the world, in many parts of Africa, including Nigeria. How to harvest it properly, the need to leave the culms in the ground for a few years to thicken up before harvesting them, the sustainable harvesting strategies of only cutting out maybe 20 to 25% of the poles each year, and then come back the next year, poles are replenished, and always harvesting the oldest culms first, letting the young ones stay in the ground and harden up. Definitely some strategies and some concepts to understand about cultivating and harvesting bamboo. And then building with bamboo is it's a special trick to building with bamboo. It's a great thing to work with, great material, has many benefits, but it's not like a lot of other types of building material. So it takes some knowledge and skill and experience to work with it, and that's pretty limited in Nigeria and throughout Africa. And a limited awareness of bamboo's benefits, the way that it captures CO2 from the air, the way that it prevents erosion, the way that it benefits the soil by drawing out toxins and degraded landscapes. There's a very limited awareness about all these benefits, and because of that, it lacks public support and also standards around building. So people don't really know how to follow the correct procedures to build with bamboo when there aren't official standards set. So without those standards and without public support, it's really hard to get good momentum building with bamboo. But there are definitely people among us today who are working hard to change that. And in order to move forward in developing the bamboo sector in Nigeria, I think we can start by raising awareness, teaching, educating, demonstrating the uses and benefits of bamboo. We can start by making use of all that native bamboo, all that Bambusa vulgaris that's just growing wild. It's a tremendous resource, and it could quickly be put to use. In many parts of the world, they want to start farming bamboo, and if you're planting a bamboo plantation, it takes 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 years before you can harvest really high quality bamboo poles. But when you're surrounded by bamboo forests that have been there for decades, if not longer, you can just start harvesting it right away. And so there's no reason to delay. The material is there, it's available, and let's get started. So using it for building, for light construction, for other products like paper products, toothpicks, chopsticks, toothbrushes, there's no end to what you can do. And the more we develop these products, demonstrate their use, the interest will only increase, and investment will be attracted to Nigeria to help industrialize this product and create jobs and develop an industry that's competitive with the Asian bamboo industry. So there's some amazing opportunities for bamboo development in Nigeria and throughout Africa. So let's all work together to make it happen. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, found it interesting. Share with your friends, click the like button, share your comments down below, and hope to see you next time. Thanks a lot.